back. Are we all on the SoundCloud? Let's start on a different one. I like the storm theme. I think the storm theme fits Allison well. It's a very interesting theme.
This, I think season 3.
Yes.
Yes,
the Percy's Promise.
Percy's Promise.
Yes. There was a season 2 cover made a little while back by, Sudrine Afro, and I thought it was really well done.
I only just not Spotify.
I'm going to put a message out in the Discord. Okay. Let me put the Thomases in their correct spaces. Technically, that isn't even your space, Soto Chronicles Thomas. You go back in the shelf with everybody else. Don't act just like because maybe special, but okay. Stream has been informed. Everyone should be coming back soon. And if I remember, out of all my mixture of figures I bought, I gotta figure out what happened to my Mr. Conductor figure. He's around here somewhere.
I could pin you up another one. We'll find you one. It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, he's around here somewhere. I just gotta figure out what I did with him. Last time I saw him, he was with Lady. Yeah, exactly. He was under Lady the entire time. I last saw him with Lady, and he never left Lady. I need to find the Burnett Stone custom one from Shapeways and attempt to paint me one of those.
I still haven't painted the two I got.
I think the figures that I really need is I need to make one for Jake. I know I've already got a driver, but when it comes to film the when it comes time to film the live action scenes, I'm gonna have to spend a lot of money on conductor costumes.
I made a conductor hat. Well, finished the conductor hat. Changed the gold to yellow. Added some plastic or foam for the. Not sure what it's called, but to give it some depth. You seen it?
Yes, I have. I think you showed a picture of it in chat. I'm gonna have to go back and look. Yes, there was one of a top hat and then the conductor hat.
Yeah, looking at the photo again, looks a little cracked. So I might have to go back and fill that in.
I think the only difference between the color of the blue on the conductor's hat is that it's darker than Mr. Conductor's, because his is it's more of, it's not royal blue. but it's a blue. I can't remember which color blue it is. But, Nikki and Rob, the people behind, two of the main people behind the Tamar parody, they've got their costumes spot on. I actually got advice from Rob a little while back. Rob, told me if I was going to try and find a conductor's costume, that I needed to... What was it? What was it I needed to do? I needed to look for the Polar Express one, and then try and find a way to get the fabric altered in color.
I didn't know you could alter the fabric.
I think it's more of like when somebody alters a fabric into a different color, it's they're making a replica. Like... It's well, yeah. It's very interesting concept. I gotta remember how it's done.
I made a plushie, but I only had wet fabric, so I colored it with an airbrush. The paint stained it, so it didn't rub off and it didn't fade when you wash it. I might try that if you want the hat. I was gonna send it to someone else, but they already have one.
It'd be very interesting to have, especially since live action scenes might start not this summer, but next summer.
Right in the intermission of college, if you do go.
As far as I know, I have plans on going, as I did get accepted. I just gotta get everything sorted out with my, I gotta send my final transcript over after high school is over, and then I have to go and get a list of, records from my doctor. I'm gonna start moving stuff out of the way, because I gotta find, Edward's golden handrail. There's a possibility that Allison might receive extruding handrails if she's lucky. I gotta figure out how I do that and where.
Tengen Studios, Tommy Oliver, gasp. I don't need to Tommy Oliver.
No, but
I think that's Allison.
Yes. And thank you. I'm not gonna say that name. That name seems a little odd, but I'm not gonna say it. Tavian, hi. Oh wait, that's appearing from last stream. I need to fix that. Now it's gonna come in like rapid fire. Excuse me. I really don't have any plans for anything on the workbench today, except for we'll be taking a look at Allison now. So, any information on Allison that you'd like to give?
Apart from her paints being a mix of gloss bright green and gloss Kelly green, some of the lining is just painted decals. The magnets are secured surprisingly by the placement, because there's the molding where if you look underneath you could see that there's the, I'm not sure what the part of the molding is called, but like how the old Trackmaster had a piece of plastic that goes onto the battery and not
that keeps it still.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Thomas was the only one that actually had that.
No, well, yeah. I think Percy had it too back in the day. But Allison has some on the side, right behind the end, if you look.
Yes. I can see.
Under the shelf.
Yep.
Under the shelf.
Right there, guys, if you can see that. These are to keep the motor mount. I'm pretty sure. Where's another engine that I've got that's nearby that has this exact same motor type? Gordon! Let's see if Gordon's got it. Oh, I forgot to put a Classic Series face on him.
I don't think Gordon has the motor mount attachment. Last I saw.
No, he doesn't. But he does have something under the back of his dome, which is interesting. But see, the motor like Ryan's here is roughly the same as Gordon's, except for the back of Ryan's his thing. Well, the back of Ryan's battery terminal that holds the engine to the chassis is connected to the back part that keeps the back wheels in place. Gordon's is the same way, but longer, and it extrudes farther out. For some reason, why
Actually,
Gordon is like that? It's interesting, because my other Gordon is not like that.
from what I saw, is that they modified the bottom plate that holds the coupling.
Yes.
It goes over the original, like the one that Ryan has. So it basically an extension, as you mentioned.
Yes. Really.
But theoretically, you could swap out the extension with the standard, and you could give it to an engine like Ryan or Edward, Ashima. I don't know about Henry. Is there any others?
Edward is actually surprisingly easy to take apart again. Way too easy. But yes, Edward's is kind of the same as Ryan's. There's actually, if I remember correctly, I can't remember if it's James or Henry, but they have theirs to where it's, shoot. James and Henry have theirs to where it's a part of the back of the motor terminal for the battery. It's part of it instead of as something you can unscrew and take off with the bottom plate.
So not an extension.
Yes, it's not an extension. It's built in, yeah, like I said, to the back of here. Edward only has one side rod at the moment, guys. I'm so sorry about that. The only reason he has one side rod at the moment is because I've yet to make more. Plus, Edward's... I know it would just be easier to switch Edward's side rods over when I'm not using the other Edward. But that's a lot of work, because Edwards don't, for some reason, are the only ones who don't want to go anywhere. I'll replace that middle wheel. Okay. No longer clacking. That's interesting. Actually A-okay with that. Anyways. Don't know why you were clacking, Edward, but alright. Or clanking. Clanking is technically the term for it. But Sodor Chronicles Edward is also... I will say the three big engines all have their Sodor Chronicles variants now. Henry's just needs some modifications to be finished. I think when I go to add someone asked if I made Oliver, if it was a custom or an official. It is my Oliver is an official Oliver. It'd be interesting to make a custom Oliver from the ground up. I think there was a Japanese user who did that. He took parts from a Thomas and a Percy, and then a whole bunch of polystyrene, and then worked with those. And made his own Oliver that way.
I was gonna try to build one myself, but I gave up after seeing everybody else's. I feel bad now.
I think the most interesting Oliver, though, that I've seen people try to do is they'll take Ryan, the Trackmaster 2 Ryan. Clockwork Radio 53. Yes, there is some customs. Allison, Edward, Henry, and Boko over here.
Boko might need a repaint. That's all I can say. He was the first. No? Well, yeah, technically he was the first diesel custom. No, second. The first was D199.
I think I might actually attempt to paint Boko in the Kelly green that we see Henry in. Oh shoot, Allison is actually probably my most powerful Trackmaster 2 Loco at the moment, especially with how she runs pretty fast on the new a pretty old battery.
I might be wrong or I'm overthinking, but considering that when I took out a motor to do a motor swap, it was a bit magnetic. I think the magnets might affect the motor, but I'm not sure if that's true or it's just me overthinking.
I didn't see anything when I attempted to run her earlier, so she should be fine. Gotta make room or make a shelf soon so I can display some of the models, specifically the Soda Chronicles models. I'd love to display those.
I would ask if you want the tattoo model to be repainted, but I think she might fit well in the Soda Chronicles, given her livery.
And how, like, realistic it is, I think. Given how realistic the livery looks, I think she would fit in well.
The only thing is the name. I made it painted on. I was thinking of using the nameplates, but
I'd love to get etched nameplates for, like, maybe per se, I don't know, Gordon. I tend to give Gordon an etched nameplate if I can figure out the size.
I was thinking of going to the, what's it called, Phoenix. I forgot the full title, but Phoenix something. Somebody might know. They made etch the model train nameplates.
I think I know what you're talking about. If I ever have a scrapyard and need a name for it, call it Drayton Manor. That would be absolutely perfect. Yes, that would be absolutely perfect. J. Abraham, we are actually not working on anything. I am currently just gonna move some models in that were sent to me, and I will do a final overview of the models. I'll definitely have to test out Henry's other body shell. It's more of a matte than a gloss, but I can easily go and give it a spray.
I think I might have shook the paint can. No, not the matte finish, either too much or too little.
I'll just have to
Both
test it out.
both Allison and Henry were covered, sprayed with the matte finish, if I remember.
Alright. Let's move you down here. That's good. Remember, guys, the last engine you want to make angry is Allison. She's a force to be reckoned with. I can't wait to use her a lot more in the future. Also, featuring Edward in the back. Thomas will be getting 2 more. I think I'm still doing. Yeah, Thomas will be receiving 2 more footsteps. No, the engine next to Allison is actually Henry. We focused on Henry in the first half of the live stream before things went south when my internet decided to go kaput. But this is Henry, and Henry will most likely be... This version of Henry will be seen, and I am not sure if I'm going to put him with the others just yet in the shelf, but he'll be seen with the others eventually. But yes, to those in chat, Henry, Gordon, and James are all complete for the Sodor Chronicles. The next model to do is Percy. And all I'm going to do for Toby is try to attempt to make a cowcatcher.
Those are fun.
I think a Sodor Chronicles Rebecca would be really cool. And Emily's just going to be as she is, because Emily is Emily.
I'm tempted to make another Rebecca custom.
I'm very tempted to buy that Daisy body shell.
And that it is a good print, but I haven't considered it. And you have to use a diesel 10 chassis instead of a Boko.
Oh yes. But luckily I've got a chassis modified to fit diesel 10. Because, see, chassis-wise, Boko is longer than diesel 10. Just by slightly.
From both ends.
Yes.
To...
And this is I don't think it's... This is a Mattel... I've got a Mattel Boko. And then we've got the Tomy chassis. Which I'm not sure if... Well, holy crap. Oh. It's a diesel 10 chassis.
The what?
The chassis on the Boko is apparently a diesel 10 chassis. Because the Boko chassis is longer.
Wait, which Boko?
Tomy Boko. Like, the chassis. Because I've got... I'm pretty sure it's either Mattel or Hit Toys. It's Hit Toys. Hit Toys Boko and normal Boko and like the Tomy Boko are the same chassis. Mattel was made slightly longer, I'm pretty sure. But yes, this is apparently a Boko chassis, and then we've got a diesel 10 chassis. Holy crap. I need to put a battery in him.
If I remember, I had a Hit Toys company Boko. I trimmed it down a bit to fit a diesel 10 to make bear.
Speaking of my bear, it's around here somewhere.
but I don't remember if I sold it or that I gave it away. I don't remember.
Someone in my chat asked if I need Arlsdale engines or the Scarloey engines. I'm probably gonna attempt at putting them both in at some point. I'd love to put in the Arlsdale engines. Emily at some point will become number 12. Not sure when. And yes, if I do make Toby some extra cowcatchers, they will be blue. Now the Scarloey engines I do have right now are only Scarloey and Renas. I used to have Peter Sam, and I have Rusty. It really bothers me that I could just misplace a Peter Sam like that.
I think that should have been the surprise instead of Boko. Sorry, I had to check if my mic was on.
It's alright. I think my Renas growing up, his front wheel broke. In half. And I didn't have the tools to repair it. So as time went on, my Renas just was lost. He's around here somewhere, just not sure where.
Legend has it, he roams the room, searching for his lost wheel.
That is something that I don't want to think about. Because he's gonna blame me for it being broken. Renas, I don't know where you are at, but I don't trust you. Scarloey's around here somewhere. I'm pretty sure I took him apart. Rusty's gender in the TV series, if I remember correctly, Rusty is gender fluid. Britt Allcroft even made that very clear. Britt never referred to Rusty as, Rusty just.
I'm so trying to remember.
I don't think Rusty's gender was ever made clear in the Railway series.
No. I'm gonna have to double check. Just to double check.
I've got my book around here somewhere. I'll check it later. That's not a topic that I'm too concerned with right now. My main concern is finding Edward's missing handrail. Oh. I wonder if that one Playrail snowplow fits on Allison. No, it's actually too small.
I should have checked for the Thomas snowplow, but I kind of modified it for the black Thomas. Just a smidge.
If the narrow, okay, so the narrow gauge engines more or less probably won't appear until Croven's Gate is seen in an episode. That's all I can say. And if they do, I'll definitely be making I'll definitely be out in, if we use Croven's Gate, I think I'm definitely gonna have to make a journey out to Texas, just so I can work with a YouTuber by the name of Mega Hedgehog X on his. If the narrow gauge engines do appear, though, like I say, they'll probably be in either wooden railway form, because it's easier to come across, or I can try and purchase capsule Playrail ones.
You can borrow mine. I have all of them. Wait. Aloy, Aeneas, Sir Handel, Peter Sam. I don't have Duncan, that's what I just remembered.
I have Duncan. That's the one I do have. I have a mixture of them.
Fearless Freddy, Duke, Bertram, Mighty Mac.
I don't have... I never had Mighty Mac growing up and never really saw a use for them besides their episode. If you wanted to do a remake of their episode, you had to have them.
The green coaches, the red coaches, and then my custom blue coaches. And brake pen.
I've got 2 of those red coaches.
And then the slate trucks we painted. And the gunpowder car.
The one that came with Luke?
Yeah.
Luke had a very interesting set of cars that came with him. Was it the Playroll Luke you had at one point?
No. I modified the Trackmaster one to look like Playroll. But I got rid of it. And then I got a second. And I forgot what happened to that one. Just having a talk.
Very good point. I could use Take and Play. I've got Sir Handel, Duncan, and a few others in Take and Play. It's very interesting. Huh. I could use Capsule Playroll for the smallies because, well, one, I'm only really going to use Rex, Mike, and Bert if I'm being real. Frank would have to be a custom that would have to be made, but that's if I even use Frank. But Rex, Mike, and Bert, the only reason I'll ever use them is if I do TV series remakes in the series, because we're getting right around to the time where I think it's the same as we're in the Brenner era, but instead of like Ian McHugh saying that it takes place in the 70s, which is inaccurate, especially with PA problems, the PA system that the Fat Controller ends up getting is one from the early 2000s, which would lead to believe that the series at this point has to be in 2000. Because then the next season, well, technically movie, which is Big World Big Adventures, features a diesel from 2005. I could actually see how they go, how much they go for. All right, we are going to take an extravaganza onto eBay, guys. We are going to look at eBay, and you guys are going to watch with me. In game 1. There we go. Wrong one.
The miniature gauge engine.
Yes. I referred to the miniature gauge as the smallies. Alright. We're gonna move that there. We're gonna move you here. And then we're gonna bring you back up. We're gonna check. See how this is doing. Okay. We're gonna limitate what you've got going on. Okay. So, we are now on eBay, and we're gonna just take a look through. We're gonna look up, take, and play Skarloey. $7.99. CGI. Ooh. Is this the CGI one or is this the classic one? It's the classic one, but for $9. Here's a whole bunch of them. Spencer, Rosie, Jack jumps in movie car. That's very interesting. Am I seeing? That's Henry. Cargo car, Harvey from 2012. So right before Scarlowy 2005. He's about it's about $1 more than the other one. Edward 2002. For Edward being from 2002, that is an excellent condition. Mighty Mac 2006. They're in decent condition too. Decent. It's not the best, but decent. We could definitely use one of those. Now I do know that Reneas is in here somewhere. We got the Deer Thomas, the Reindeer Thomas from 2012. Mighty Max Scarlowy. There's Henry from 2002. Murdoch 2004. It's just Murdoch's front. No tender. Charlie Mighty Mac. Mighty Mac from 2006 is also on here. That's interesting. This is just a normal cargo car. Joby and Sodor Library Storybook. Don't frankly care about that one. Electric Eels Tanker, Jet Fuel Tanker, Mr. Bubbles. It's a long Sodor Fireworks Car, Pirates Cove, Jack Jumps in Movie Car, and 2012 Thomas. Oh, does this one look that one frankly looks a lot better than the one I've got. The one I've got, the face is kind of wonky. In the picture, it showed Reneas. How come am I not finding him in the listing? But James is in almost excellent condition, except for a few nicks. There's a 2005 Scarlowy. There's another Scarlowy. There's one in package for $25. 2010, I'm pretty sure it's the CGI model. But it's one new in packaging. I don't want a new and packaged one. Here is Scarlowy and Luke from then, and $14 for the both of them. I could repair them easily. Scarlowy and Luke. We'll keep that in mind when I add that to my watch list. There's a Reneas in this lot, and a Stepney. There's a 2005 step. 13 for $13. You've got the 2005 one, Metallic Wooden Railway Thomas. I'd love for one of those. Scarlowy is really expensive. I understand that he's a favorite, but that's $14 for a lady that's in excellent quality. Well, yeah. I've seen some listings for the, I think it was, what lady was it? It was the Wooden Railway lady for that price. This is the Mattel James, which is the CGI one, which is the one I want to complete my collection because I need Percy, James, and Thomas. I've got a Thomas, I just need Percy and James. Take and play Reneas. Just the next listing. $11 for a 2010 Reneas. What I am looking for is a CGI Renas. But was there ever a CGI Renas in Take and Play? I'll have to look that up. Did Mattel make Renas? I spelled that wrong. Yes. In 2010. Ah, but they're asking 17 Canadian dollars for a Renas from 2010. Bruh. That's a lot. Okay, what am I looking up here? We're going to the wiki. We're going to the Wikia and we're searching for Renas. We're searching for Renas. Merchandise. Oh, stream is not doing so good. It is jumping around. Oh, Lord.
Scalloy being painted full red.
Take and Play. Did Yellow Renas have the CGI? Oh, never mind. That is the Renas. Okay. So we're going back to eBay. I'm gonna save my computer some health on that.
How would somebody use Proteus? How would someone use Proteus in their series?
That's a good question.
Like, is he still a magic engine or another express engine?
$10.99. That's $10.99 for Peter Sam. I'll take it. I mean, shipping is added. You gotta wait for shipping. It's $13 for Peter Sam. I'm A-okay with that.
I forgot I gave Peter Sam an old funnel.
And then we got... Let's take a long run as.
Kinda one.
Is this the CGI? I'm not sure what year that's from. It's not the what's considered CGI. But that is definitely not CGI Renas. Now, I think if they were to scale down Renas in CGI, like his CGI face from the wooden railway model, if Mattel would have done that, I think that would have been nice. I'm guessing Renas just didn't receive a CGI face. taken place or handle. Did they do Sir Handel in 2012 at least? That is CGI Sir Handel right there. It doesn't have any problems. There's no nicks of the blue. It's just the black. Alright, add to wish list you go. And then we need to search up the next engine. We've got the first 4. The next one is Rusty. Did Rusty get a CGI? At all? That's a question for the Wikia. Searching it on the phone. No problem. They may have taken play Duncan in 2016. They did. I know there's a version of Duncan as well. Yeah, but if you're gonna think about it, the Thomas and Friends Wikia is actually pretty trustful. I've already searched up Thompson. All right, we going with Rusty. We need merchandise. Wooden railway, Erdl wood, take along, take in play. There was one. There was a CGI Rusty. Take and play Rusty. 2012. As I thought. Rusty the Diesel 2012. I'm getting Trackmaster one, but not what I'm looking for. Let's see if I just search up that. I'm going to come across something one way or another. No, I am not. It's very interesting. Found him! He is in here, and he is in a $22 lot. We will put him in the watch list. There's also Renas in there, too. But I think it's the older Renas. I know I've got Duncan. But I don't have Duncan. Trackmaster Rusty is wide. Duncan, take and play. My question is did they end up doing a CGI version of him with the normal magnets? Because if not, I will just buy one of the ones that has. Right, because they didn't bring him back until 2016. I just realized that. No. It was 2014 they brought him back because it was season 18. They don't have an excuse not to have a CGI Rusty. Or not CGI, a CGI Duncan with the normal coupling, with the normal magnets. We're going to search up Duncan. 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 We're going to go down to merchandise. We're going to go to Tankmaster Tank and Play. Right, they only released him in 2015, and he had a CGI face then. So that's the only version that has it. So I need to find the cheapest one possible. I find it interesting though. Here's the knockoffs. It's a lot of knockoffs, if you ask me. Well, sometimes knockoffs are just as good. Let me see if Duncan is in here. Duncan is in there, but it's not the Duncan I'm looking for. They're Annie and Clarabelle. Okay. So they've got pictures of the actual models, but yet it looks like knockoffs for the most part. Interesting. Duncan. Only $6. 30 and 37 cents. Okay, we'll add to watch list because this one looks to be in nice shape. So we'll find the other Duncan. And we will find the lowest costing Duncan there is. Alright. There's this lot featuring a CGI Duncan. And that's all we need. All we need is the Duncan. So we'll add to watch list. It's a pretty cheap lot. It's not bad. Could be worse. Now, who is next in the CGI lineup? Skarloey, Renas, Peter Sam, Duncan. Skarloey, Renas, Peter Sam, Sir Handel, Duncan. Luke. We will need Luke. So that makes, theoretically, makes 6. Who else am I missing? We can search for the other ones on a different basis. But the CGI narrow gauge crew, who are we missing? Freddy only appeared in the seasons before the CGI switch. So we just need the CGI crew. Which is technically only 7 engines. Unless you count Rusty. You've got Rusty too. So I'll have to make do with what I've got on there. So and I think an end quote that appearance dark sidebar. No, I want that. Oh, never mind.
There goes the hat.
Yeah.
I was gonna share the. Hold on. Good. I think that's all. It's loading. 5 files, supposedly. Will those come in handy?
Ooh, okay. Ooh, no, we're good. Okay. I need to come across the last bit. Okay.
I just sent 5 files.
Okay.
5 watching.
I see we've got some coaches.
Mm-hmm.
These are the Scarloy coaches. I've got the same coaches, just without the yellow in them. And then we've got the green and cream coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I see 2 of them have got faces.
I was experimenting on those. Not like the G1.
And then we've got the blue coaches.
Those used to be red. No, they used to be any Clarabelle modified. Then we painted red. Then painted blue. Then painted blue cream.
Yeah, because at one point they were the LBSCR coaches.
Yeah. Well, that adds an extra layer of paint.
We got Scarloy, Renas, or Handle. So I think all the engines need, more or less, is CGI faces. They should have updated them when we came around to the end of the main Trackmaster era. They really should have done updating the faces.
Those were hit entertainment, I think. Something about Tommy. 1 minute.
It depends on who Tomy made. I know they made Scarloy, Renas. Or no, Renas wasn't made until Hit Toyko, I'm pretty sure. But no, Scarloy, I'm pretty sure Rusty and Mighty Mac were made by Tomy in the US. I think the other ones were made by Playrail. And that's what, like, Mighty Mac was. Mighty Mac was their immediate Playrail release, just shipped over to the US because of a set that was produced at the time.
Mighty Mac is the only Tommy. Peter Sam is the only Mattel. Except he had a modified funnel.
Like I said, my Peter Sam's around here somewhere.
Clockwork Radio 53. Why do you like CGI over CGI faces over model face?
I think it's just more interesting how the faces are in CGI. Like, don't get me wrong. Playrail Thomas, the original face they had for it, is nice. But I like the CGI face much better, because the switch over to CGI wasn't unexpected to me, because most kids shows that feature things like, you know, at some point, right around the time Hit Entertainment started animating their shows, instead of, like, you know how, like, Bob the Builder or Fireman Sam were stop motion. Well, whenever they made it to CGI was right around the time that Thomas started CGI. Or at least experimenting it. And when Hit Entertainment brought in Nitrogen to do all their shows, I think the only show that Nitrogen did not do was Bob the Builder. But they did do Fireman Sam for a while. But
I got a glimpse of the new Bob the Builder. It doesn't feel the same.
It just doesn't feel. It doesn't sit right with me, because I grew up on Bob the Builder and Thomas. It just doesn't sit right with me. It's not too bad nonetheless. The theme song is pretty good. And Bob's voice actor is different, so it's not what I'm used to. That is, I did notice that. So with Bob the Builder's reboot completely failing, I always question that. Like, what caused it to fail so bad? Was it because they made the characters look realistic? I mean, I understand most of the people.
It doesn't have the what's it called? The charm that grabs the children's attention.
I mean, I understand that
They
most
might
of the Bob the Builder
be-
stop motion models had football heads, but that's besides the point.
Well, if you were to grab a child and put them in front of two televisions, different time, one with the classic and one with the reboot, they might pay attention more to what grabs their attention, which might be, well, I'm not actually sure. I haven't, well, I don't have my nephews anymore.
This is very interesting. We are reaching in on the last 5 minutes of the live stream, guys. I understand you guys were expecting a longer live stream tonight because it is a Friday night, but I'm probably planning on going to work on Henry, see how he looks with his other body shell, do some comparisons and contrast, and I'll ask Twitter what they think which one is the best. And I only ask the fans because the fans' opinion matters by far. Speaking of Skarloey from earlier, here's what's left of my Skarloey. I have to put him back together. But Skarloey, okay, he's got his front. He's got everything else. He just needs the chassis and the chassis with the motor. That's it. But Henry is here somewhere. I gotta figure where. I will say my next model, though, guys, will most likely be the LBSCR I class, because I really like that locomotive class. And for some reason, I really want to make a model of it. So I'm going to do everything in my power that I can to work on that model. Probably will not be started in the next live stream. Just depends on how I feel about starting it. I think we should go ahead and get the... Hey Alexa, connect to my iPhone.
Searching.
Hey Alexa, connect to my iPhone.
Searching.
Well, are you going to connect? Or what device?
Now connected to Dolan's iPhone.
Oh Lord. Okay. Don't know what was happening with my eye there, but it definitely did not like what was going on with it. Okay. we're gonna head over to SoundCloud, and then we're going to find the final song for today. I will. I really need to zoom in out of my face here. This is. I find this very interesting. How it was zoomed into my face, just super zoomed in. Video capturing device, properties, and we'll attempt to end right at 10 or 10:01 or whatever. Okay, there we go. We're good.
My screen is laggy.
That is fair. My stream has finally started working properly again, because it was going in and out earlier for some reason. All right.
Well, it is cloud.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna end the stream now, guys. So. Okay, that needs to be louder. You can't have that as quiet as it is. There we go. So what can I say? And we've come to the happy end of the stream, I guess. But, you know, there's not much I can do about that. See you guys later.
Peace.
I'm just gonna finish out the theme song.
I got a few questions after the stream, if it's alright.
Of course.